Hello and welcome to the Backpage Pass Game Week 11 review. We're back like Wes Hewlin, except unlike Wezo, there's been absolutely no public outcry for us to come back. But I'm John O'Donnell with young Owen Grace and Mark Corcoran.
Am I young?
You're younger than me.
Yeah, that's true. Do we call him Wezo now, by the way?
He was called Wezo back when he played over here. Yeah.
So we do call him Wezo. When was his first cap, by the way?
2008.
That's a Staunton era.
Oh, I think it was Trapattoni.
Trapattoni.
Was it?
Yeah.
Serbia?
Was it?
Colombia.
Colombia.
In Craven Cottage.
Yeah.
It's not much of a cap, is it?
No. And he came off the bench as well very late on.
And was Falcao playing in that match?
He might have been. He could have been. He was still playing in Colombia at that stage. And I remember Benitez asked for $3 million to sign him. And the American owners told him no.
Who did they sign instead?
They got Davin Gog, I think, that season.
Yeah.
For a similar price.
Hey, it's little facts like that you won't get anywhere else. Right.
Chunks of information. That's what the show's known for.
Yeah. Chunks. Anyway, right. Let's start with the late game on Saturday, which was Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 3. And Ferguson made a point earlier in the season that Manchester United don't play with a defensive midfielder, but they've also been conceding a lot of goals this year. Do you think there's a correlation there?
Well, we like winning games 3-2. That's for sure. That's our favourite scoreline this season.
That's your best one?
The best one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We've been conceding poor goals, alright, but it seems to be a different excuse every time. For example, Smalling on Saturday, his excuse being he was out for so long and he just got his ass handed to him basically by Benteke. But I don't know if have United ever really traditionally played with a central or a defensive central midfield player.
I mean, Roy Keane was defensive without being.
Well, he was more box to box. It was more late in his career that he kind of sat back a bit.
But he never sat back altogether. You'd always find him up the other end of the pitch.
That's what I mean. Like Fletcher is really the more kind of defensive minded midfielder in the squad, and of course he's not really at the level where he's going to be consistently playing 90 minutes yet. So they tried to make Anderson into that type of player as well, but I never thought he was. Like,
too attack-minded,
yeah,
I think.
He used to be a winger.
Well, I think it was in his first season, and they put him on Fabregas in a United Arsenal game at Old Trafford, and he basically cancelled him out. And that's why it's in the song now about Anderson. But I don't think it's his natural position to play there. So we don't really not actually have a defensive midfield player in the squad, but again, that hasn't stopped us winning trophies in the past.
Yeah,
it's more you want a consistency in the back four, which we haven't had this season.
But Ferguson's been making a big point about RVP could be the difference this year with his goals because they lost on goal difference last year. You're not going to win the league on goal difference if you're only winning every game by one goal. Am I right, Owen?
Yeah, it's fair enough. But like, say last season, it could have been a different result. Say if they didn't have a Van Persie last season, so it could have been 2-2 or 2-1 to Villa. It could have ended up the other way. So
at the same time, Chicharito denied a hat-trick there. So.
Yeah.
I'm taking the ball and I'm going home.
But yeah, that's all I had to interject.
That's how you go with that. Villa really, I don't even think they deserve 2 goals, to be honest with you, because I saw this stat that Scholes and Carrick completed 216 passes. How many do you think Aston Villa as an entire team completed?
About 100.
No, it's more than that.
190?
More than that.
200 and something.
Now, bearing in mind, Xavi will complete 100 in a game. So how many do you think 11 players?
400.
218.
So close.
So, yeah, I mean, 2-3 against a team who your 2 midfielders about passed.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's... I go back to defensive inconsistencies that it does take time. You have to work on it week in, week out. That's why United have been so strong when they've had Ferdinand and Vidic going back maybe 4 or 5 years. You need a strong basis to the team. Johnny Evans has done okay when he's been in, but then he's getting injured himself. Ferdinand isn't really that consistent. Can't consistently play 90 minutes week in, week out. So I think that's what it comes down to more so than actually playing with a defensive midfield player. But again, like United have a stronger goal difference than City do at this stage of the season. I think United are plus 12 maybe. I think City are plus 10. So
but City
seems to be working so far.
At scoring.
Yeah, but it's working so far, John.
And also, the City have been leaking goals as well. Anyway, speaking of leaking goals, Arsenal 3, Fulham 3, and Mannone, he just isn't very good, is he?
I don't really see why they haven't rushed Chesney back, because
I've been hearing for weeks. He could play this game, and then just he doesn't play.
Yeah, he was on the bench, I think, on the weekend, and like there's no reason for him not to play. Like, and when you see the mistake Mannone made for, I think it was the second goal, where a header from the edge of the box, he couldn't get rid of it, just went straight in. I couldn't believe that. So
correct me if I'm wrong though. Was he not dropped and then got injured because he made a mistake?
Chesney.
Yeah, he made a mistake on a cross, I think.
He played the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah,
and conceded 1 goal, and that was against Southampton.
Yeah, he dropped that. He dropped that into his own net.
Yeah, but they won the game 6-1, so I don't think anybody was complaining.
But I remember at the time Wenger actually said, "Top of that," I think.
Yeah,
and like, he might.
Yeah, I know he said he needs to focus more on his concentration and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Mannone has conceded 15 goals in 13 games, so.
Yeah, it's funny. At the start of the season, everyone was going on about Steve Bold. Steve Bold this, Steve Bold that. He's turned them around, but even during that time, Wenger was very cautious to actually give him too much credit for it, because maybe he can see that not an awful lot's changed. They haven't got a woeful defence. Like, they're nowhere near the worst in the league. But I think I'm not even that convinced on Chesney when he comes back in. Like that guy that played, I forget his name. He came in for the Reading match.
Damian Martinez.
Yeah, dreadful goal. He conceded.
Awful, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have no faith in Mannone or Fabianski, and not that much in Chesney either. So he had another position that Arsenal need to strengthen in. Like.
They tried to sign Schwarzer a few years ago, obviously, to try and as a transition from what was his name, Almunia, who was awful, to Chesney, obviously, to give him a chance. But
they were too cheap to play the extra million. I think it was.
It's one of those things.
That's another thing actually as well, that they've for the whole, like the last 18 months. Yeah, Wilshere will be back next week. And then
he's suspended this week.
No, what I mean is when he was injured.
Oh yeah, he'll be back.
He'll be back. He'll be back in a month.
I think their doctors aren't real doctors.
No,
they're like Patch Adams type doctors.
Dr. Nick. But and it could be the same with Chesney. Like, maybe he'll be back in 2 weeks. Did I say 2 weeks? I meant whenever.
This is my young man, Mr. Sanchez, with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. Where are we? Arteta took the penalty in the last minute.
Flammable means inflammable.
It's whisper quiet. Arteta took the penalty. Giroud and Cazorla were both still on the pitch.
Yeah.
Arteta, it wasn't a great penalty.
No, but even if he had scored that 4-3, having been in the position that they were in,
yep.
That would it would have been paper over the cracks. Maybe they're better off with a bit of, like the inward looking, the looking in the mirror, the deep stares to try and figure out what the hell's going on, because it's desperate. Well, they were 1-0 up and went to 2-0 up. Sorry, and they went back to 3-2. So should be killing that game off against Fulham. No offense to Fulham, but if you're any sort of decent team that's looking to win a trophy, you have to be killing that sort of game off.
And Berbatov got 2 goals.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying his football again.
Why didn't Liverpool snap him up?
It's just unrealistic. They tried to sign Gabriel Heinze a few years ago, and Ferguson wouldn't allow it. I thought he was going to let Berbatov go either.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They wanted him so bad.
We don't even want him. No.
The other
went
question
to Madrid
is,
in the end, though, didn't
he? Yeah. But he didn't do great there either.
Yeah.
But the other question is, why didn't Arsenal sign him?
Berbatov.
Yeah.
4 million.
Maybe because he used to play with Spurs. I don't know, but
yeah. No, I don't even think that would matter.
It's all Campbell thing.
I think they thought, well, we have Giroud, who's similar enough. Is Berbatov better than Giroud?
Yeah.
They both scored 2 on the day, eh?
Well, Berbatov got a couple the week before as well.
Berbatov's having a decent season so far.
I'm going to have to look up what they're both scoring. Anyway.
Plus, he would have been another option. It's not like they've bursting to come off the bench at Arsenal, you know what I mean? So I thought it would have been a good sign in there. But would Berbatov and Suarez, would that work out well? See, everyone's just saying that because Liverpool don't have many strikers.
Yeah.
But Berbatov was cheap.
Yeah, but you could give Berbatov a rest because he seems to like a rest. So
He rests when he's on the pitch.
I mean, but you could have played. I know they've tried playing Suarez out wide as well at Liverpool.
But then you're wasting Suarez because Suarez is scoring with what little chances he gets.
But yeah, but he could be. He has to create the chances for himself. I was about to say he could create them for Berbatov, but he's not the type of player to create for other.
He takes off on the scraps usually.
Anyway, Everton 2, Sunderland 1. I don't know why I said that like that.
You sound like a computer. Everton
I
2.
sounded like, you know that guy on the BBC at the end of final score is like, Everton 2, Sunderland 1. Everton 2, Sunderland 1. Fellaini was the difference. We were talking about United and Arsenal should have bought Berbatov. How much would they pay for Fellaini?
Well, Moyes reckons he's worth £30 million.
They say that about everybody.
round
Rodwell was
figure.
worth 20 million and Baines was worth 20 and now Fellaini's now the new one is 30.
He's had a great start to the season, so you'd expect him to keep it up. I don't think he'll leave in January though. He's quite. I wouldn't say it'd be a pointless move to leave in January considering they do so well in the league at the moment. Can't really see him breaking in at Chelsea. So yeah, he was pretty good on the weekend. He set up the goal and scored a goal, so
Magic, wasn't it?
it was very good. Yeah.
Seeing as Everton were playing Sunderland,
Yeah.
Sunderland are known as the Black Cats.
Yeah.
And Fellaini
I'm
scored.
worried about where this is going.
And Fellaini, you're gonna like this. And Fellaini scored. Do you think anyone used the headline Fellaini?
Oh, Fellaini. As in,
Fellaini, yeah.
oh,
As in,
feline.
feline means cat.
No, I don't think anybody did that.
They should have.
I think it works
I just
better
thought of it now.
it works better as an audio than as a kind of a written down text. Like
And better in your head reading it when you think about it.
it's better. I like it in my head. I'm glad it's in my head. It could have been anywhere.
It's such great insight into the match there. Thank you, Mark.
I figured out Sunderland's problem. Steve Staunton is a coach. I only found this out the other day.
Here you are.
Didn't have a-
That just explains everything.
Well,
explains why they haven't. It was their first goal since September. Then.
If you don't count Demba's own goal
Oh yeah.
for
yeah.
them.
Yeah. So
I can't blame it on him though, can you? Did
I do.
Did Martin O'Neill bring him in?
He was there since 2011, so I don't think so.
Niall Quinn, I think, might have brought him in
I would imagine
as a
it was
friend.
Fergie. Yeah.
Here's Steve. Because he was
Give
at
him a dig out.
Walsall, wasn't he?
He was at Walsall.
Yeah.
He was coach, not even assistant manager. He was just a
Director of
coach,
football or
something like that.
Yeah.
And then he got the Ireland job. When we were promised a world-class manager.
Well, he was a decent player, all right.
World-class manager.
I know, but
Not a coach from Walsall.
well, he was Walsall after the Ireland job, was he not? Or he went to Leeds after the Ireland job.
I think so. Yeah, he had a little stint at Leeds.
Yeah, he's got some big clubs under his belt. Hell.
I don't know.
But I don't. You can't blame him for that, though. In all seriousness.
Yeah, I do.
What is the problem with Sunderland, though? I mean, decent striker up front. They've spent money on a winger.
Mm-hmm.
in
They already
Johnson.
had a good winger. Although I think,
McLean hasn't really done it the same this season.
yeah, I think he's a little overrated, to be honest. Everybody just kind of...
No, of course he is. Remember that he came on for his debut, and it was the biggest cheer in the night.
Yeah,
What he's actually done in his career, apart from being an alternative.
yeah.
you know,
Being not McEady.
yeah, he did nothing like. So what has O'Neill really done wrong? Maybe it's just the players that he's brought in. Like,
Well-
it has to go down to the players at some point.
Yeah. I mean, he could be playing Moyler, who will take the ball from
Well,
the
he's on-
defence
gone
and
long.
torn
He's
left.
his
a
pass.
hole.
I know, he could have been. with
Yeah, but
that
no,
option
he's
is
hardly
closed
world
off.
class, is he?
I know, well, Colback isn't world class.
That's the problem. They don't have good players in the midfield.
I think they have better players in the position in the table, though.
Cattermole's never really met him.
He's always
Sure.
suspended anyways.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's
really
fair
matter.
enough.
But like they finished 10th under Steve Bruce's last full season in charge, and 13th last season. So why are they going backwards? Maybe they're just not spending in the right areas. I don't know. Although they seem,
And
you
they
see
had
that on the
Bender
face
last
of
year.
it, on the paper, they've bought some decent players. Like.
Yeah. Their first 11 should do better. A team who are doing better than their first 11, West Brom beat Wigan 2-1. Long and Lukaku started up front together. That's a first. Are we excited about that?
I'm really excited about Shane
You've been
Long.
calling that for a while. Lukaku and Long starting together.
Yeah.
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 I remember saying that.
Yeah. That's what I did.
Yeah, it happened.
No, I'm really excited about Shane Long because he seems to be in the form of his life. I didn't watch him much now in when he was down in the Championship, but he seems to be just everything's happening for him at the moment. If he could only cement a place in the Ireland team,
Yeah, somehow.
yeah. Like, but the fans there love him. He's scoring goals. He's showing for the ball. Like the one thing, even at the Ireland match last night, I noticed that when a poor pass was played into him and the defender won it, he was hungry, looking to win it back, and he would just lay it off then. But yeah, definitely he's been a great signing for them. Lukaku, on the other hand, could be a big blow if he has to go back to Chelsea in January. But that kind of has a bit of a big man, little man feel to it, and it could work well as a partnership.
Now, here's one for you, Owen. West Brom are level with Everton. Same amount of points.
20, I think.
Yeah. Well, they're fifth. I think Everton are fourth.
Yeah.
You shocked?
Yeah, I can't say I was expecting that now. But I always knew Steve Clarke was a great coach from Chelsea and Liverpool when he took over there. Basically, for the first 6 months of...
He was telling Dalglish what to do.
Basically he changed it to a... and that's why Dalglish...
Don't buy Andy Carroll. No.
I think that's why Dalglish got his contract in the end, because they had a great... Well, I wouldn't say great. They had a good second half of the season in Dalglish's initial return. So
his little stint as a caretaker,
head coach or whatever this guy like to call him.
The interesting thing about them being on the same amount of points is that people are talking, can Everton get Champions League football?
I said this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, West Brom, they're this year's Newcastle probably.
Well, I still get the feeling about West Brom that they're still just kind of, I want to get to 40 points. Like, and then
That's exactly what...
everything's cool, then we get to 40 points, you know?
Yeah, a couple of the players actually come out and said that we're not talking about Europe. We just want to get to the magic 40 points before. I think it was James Morrison said it during the week. It's all about the 40 points from.
Maybe they're just trying to play it down. But Everton are the noises are the other way.
They want to keep pushing for Champions League and so on. Although their second half of the season is usually better.
That's promising for them. Usually they have a bad start to the season, so if they can push on the second half, they could get fourth.
It's probably a false position though at the moment. I can't see West Brom, especially if Lukaku goes, really keeping tabs with Everton.
Suppose. Reading 0, Norwich 0. Norwich have kind of crept ahead of Villa in Lambert's shock. Hey, Owen, talk to me. There's nothing to talk about in this match.
There really isn't.
What do you think, Foot?
There's no need to be like that, Foot.
I don't want to keep that close to my face now.
I just touched Mark's microphone with my foot. My naked foot.
It's exactly as it sounds.
Alright, so next match. Southampton won, Swansea won. Southampton had 60% possession, which I wouldn't have expected going into the match.
The home team, they play a bit of football as well. They're a bit like Swansea. In that
Swansea are all about possession.
That, I suppose, yeah. That just depends on the day, really, sometimes. It was their day for possession. The result was the same.
Are they as much about possession now as they were under...
Not as much.
Yeah.
But still quite a bit.
They still like to attack under Laudrup.
You know, it's still kind of Barcelona ideals there. From Laudrup.
Southampton are going down. So I say they're going down.
No, they belong... They need to go down and to come back up.
Yeah. I think we were talking about that last week, but because there's a lot to like about them, but they're going down.
Yeah. Oh well. Speaking of going down, Stoke won, QPR 0, and I thought the Raptors looking a bit chunky. He was the best player for QPR in the day, probably. But
did you say chunky?
Chunky.
Chunks of information.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we brought it back. He's looking fat though, right?
He's looking not like a Premier League player. He's looking like a guy who believes in his own hype, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he has done since he was at Tottenham.
Yeah, but he was their best player. He's only making stuff happen on the day.
He's the best player in a team that's 19th.
That's a good point.
you know,
And he also didn't score.
and they're still winless.
Mm-hmm.
They are winless. I
Yeah,
think
they are.
winless.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They could be bottom now, I think.
They could be bottom.
They are, yep.
Yeah.
What do you think, Owen? What do you think? Do you think like the players like Forlan and Derry and Hill and Mackey, who kept them up last year, really? Do you think they should be going back to those players instead of the overpriced players they brought in during the summer?
They should, because a lot of the players that have been signed this summer feel that they have a right to be in the team. Obviously, Cesar is better than Green, but there's a couple of players there that shouldn't be playing. I think Farlene, they had a lot of fuss about him a couple of seasons ago. I think they could have been relegated because of the way they signed him, but he actually played very well last season, and Mackey as well. So yeah, I think you should go back to that. I think it's just the club's a bit of a mess at the moment because I don't know if Mackey has signed all of those players. So
Do you think about going back to those players though? I don't know if Marquise will do it because he's losing a bit of face then, because he's like,
Yeah.
we're never going to be in this position again. So if you drop all your new players, I don't know if you sign them or didn't sign them, but if you drop all of the new players for the old players, you're pretty much going to get the same results. You might stay up on the last day of the season, which is a bit kind of, wait a minute, you said we weren't going to have this again.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're in it now
They're in it
anyway,
now,
so they
yeah.
might as well.
The funny thing, I wonder will Joey Barton go back and play with them?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love them to
Because-
cancel the loan and bring his ass back.
He still hasn't played a French league match from last day. He's still suspended. Like.
yeah, he's still waiting around.
I
But
think he's been in a training ground fight there and closed door matches fights. But
Joey Barton.
he scored a free goal actually in the Europa League last week. He
from a
scored
corner, wasn't
directly
it?
from
Yeah,
a corner.
Yeah, I heard about that. But the thing about that is, at the time when Red missed us the Senate and everyone's like, we got to get rid of Joey Barton. Like we got to, just get rid of him. Basically, that all kind of fades after a while, and
Well,
people go back to the
it
mindset.
happens every 6 months with Joey Barton.
Oh, I know, but people tend to go back to the mindset that he's a good player. He's a good player. We need good players. Whereas once he goes back in there, if he goes back in there, it's just gonna be
Then he
mayhem.
gets sent off again. And
Yeah,
he's like, oh
it's just
yeah,
like-
this is why we dropped him.
grits his teeth and kicks Aguero. Like
Speaking of Aguero, Sunday, Man City 2, Spurs 1. The back three finally worked for Man City.
Did it?
Well, they won the match.
That was a
They were
poor
losing and then they changed and then they won.
Yeah, I thought it was a poor match. I thought just
Really ill-tempered match. It was like
yeah,
a
there was
rugby match at
bad,
times.
There's bad tackles in it. But I just thought the ball was just given away so cheaply in it. That's my impression. And there was bad chances missed. But that maybe I was just in a bad mood watching it or something. But that was my impression of the match anyway. But I don't know. It was a good goal, well taken for the winning goal. But
Yeah.
I expected more of it.
What do we think of Adebayor, who didn't do much?
He had a nightmare.
Yeah, he didn't do much really. He was just diving and trying to get involved in things he shouldn't have been getting involved in. Which you can't really be surprised with Adebayor because he did that when he was at City against Arsenal. So
Yeah, do you think if he'd scored, he would have run the length of the pitch and done a big slide out?
I don't know. He might have. I don't think it was as bad though. I don't think the City fans were giving him as much stick.
Was he trying too hard?
He might have been. I don't know. Just
I
That's-
hate statements like that.
yeah,
Big
it's
load of
quite
balls.
wide open and vague point to make. Really, as the anchor.
He seemed to kind of be there just for City's entertainment.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything, posing no threat, and they were just shouting abuse at him until he was
It
substituted.
gets the abuse off AVB.
why
you
wa-
go, you take.
Yeah, you take it. Why wasn't Jermaine Defoe starting?
It's bizarre, I suppose.
Like even last season, Jermaine Defoe had a great game there. He nearly there's a ball played across the goal line, and he very nearly tapped it in. And if he had Tottenham would have won that match, and ended up Balotelli scoring the penalty. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
That was
when
a big-
Parker got his head danced on.
Oh
Yeah. That was a big turning point in last season. But I thought like he's in good
When he
form.
got Tommied from Love Hey.
Don't watch that show.
Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. His brother was in it last year.
Yeah, as a
Briefly.
junkie.
As a which?
As a junkie.
Sweet.
Okay.
Moving on from that.
Tom Huddleston got called up for England. Why?
Bit of a nothing call. Really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nothing calls in that squad though.
Yeah.
Leon Osman. I know he's playing well, but he's 31, and it's not as if like Hodgson's trying to bring in a new generation of players. So bringing in Osman was a bit pointless. It's just a bit of a reward, I think, for playing well.
Yeah, there was an article in one of the tabloids, started being debated that the piece was basically, congratulations, Stephen Gerrard, you've got your 100 caps and you've done it every single one of those games. You've earned your place in the England squad. And unlike David Beckham, who got to 115, and the last 20 of those caps were basically like buying into the hype caps kind of thing. Like he wasn't contributing. Well, my argument there, look at the squad that was put out
when Beckham was there. Yeah.
No, what I mean put out for this match against Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Wilfred Zaha, who has done nothing to earn a place in the squad.
He's playing well in the championship.
Other than,
and he's got his team to the top of the championship.
Oh, well, hang on. Other than kind of half saying, here, I might play for the Ivy Host.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole reason he got picked.
That's the only reason he got picked. And Sterling, no problem with Sterling really being in the squad, but it kind of does say something about what's the option.
You have to be looking at, if you're Aaron Lennon, just looking at it going, why?
Well, that's what, like, what does it say about the options of experienced players? If you're picking a 17-year-old. No, Rooney was playing when he was 16 or 17.
Yeah, but he was playing Champions League when he was 16, 17.
It was a bit different. Nothing against Sterling playing in it, but the point being that a bit harsh on the argument about Jerry getting us on the caps is a bit of a mute point with the squads the way they are these days.
Right, moving on. Sorry.
How do we get talking about England? What were we talking about?
Huddleston got picked.
Did Huddleston get any minutes? I don't think
he did. Yeah,
last 5 or something.
I remember seeing his afro watching Ibrahimovic's fourth goal go in. So
just going past your window, was it? Yeah. As he danced around the Sweden pitch.
I wouldn't be surprised if that shot went past his window. It was a long shot. Newcastle 0, West Ham 1. Newcastle were playing 3 wingers. It was all a bit, what are you doing that for? Like, both teams just seem to sacrifice having any midfield and would just go long.
I found it because we were talking about this last week, I just thought Newcastle were going to win that. And it seemed to be, I'd say that was probably Newcastle's worst performance of the season. Yeah,
well, they claim, me and Owen have been discussing this earlier, it's that they were tired from the trip to Bruges. You've been to Bruges lately, have you? Were you in Bruges?
I was in Bruges last year. How long is the flight to Bruges? Max 3. Oh, well, from Newcastle be maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay. Owen's point was?
It's only a stone's throw away from the east of England.
But it's having played your first team in the match is why
that's fair enough. Yeah.
No, hang on a minute now. I went to. That's gonna.
Let's get this right now. Yeah. This is the just a throwaway remark, but no, let's get it right.
First of all, it wasn't last summer; it's the summer before last. Okay. Summer. Right. That's important.
Well, planes have improved.
So no, but it's important to the relevance of how foggy my memory is of the actual flight. I'd say from Newcastle, it's maybe an hour and a half flight.
And is there a big nightlife in Bruges that would have distracted them? And maybe
lovely place in Bruges.
Yeah,
I 100% recommend it. Not a drinking place though. No. I didn't get a big vibe that people go out there partying. It's more of a.
All right, so that's
why we're sponsored by Belgian Tourism. Going on about lovely place. You should all go there.
Lovely place. Great.
Go for a match, actually. Go for good place for a match. No,
place you don't want. Okay.
I don't think in Newcastle. How many Europa League matches have been playing this season?
4 so far.
So like you can't.
6.
The qualifiers, yeah. So 6.
You can't go after the 6th one. Here, we're tired.
Well, they are tired now. They wouldn't have been earlier in the season when they were playing. They were playing the reserves in those games.
Why didn't you play your reserves in that?
Because we had a chance of qualifying.
Yeah, but your reserves got you. Your reserves got you the chance.
No, but we played them in the first game against Bruges and against Bordeaux as well.
Yeah. So when you played them,
we just didn't play them against that Greek team earlier on the season. The boy needs a rest.
The Greek team.
I can't pronounce it.
Let's just say it was Pelk.
It wasn't Pelk. It's P-A-O-K. Okay.
It is
okay.
Pelk.
Yeah, is it?
Pelk Salonika.
It was P capital all the way. You can't call your name. You can't call your team.
Everyone knows it's AC Milan.
Right, I'm moving on. Chelsea won, Liverpool won. The back 5. Was this to deal with Chelsea's front 4, or did they just not rate Carragher wisdom enough to play as a centre back on their own.
I think they couldn't play Wisdom and Carragher in the same back four because they would have been torn to shreds and were actually in the first half.
Yeah, they were wise not to do it.
You said this earlier. Cleverly done.
Sorry for it.
No, that's yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of the tactics to fight at the back?
Well, it was trying to stifle it. Really, they were better off going at Chelsea. I thought in the second half, and they created much more. But then again, what do I know? Carragher got the assist, so it was good that he was in the team in the first place. But
yeah, well, I think it was more of an assist that Suarez gave himself by pushing.
Oh yeah,
Ramirez way out of the way.
Yeah, it's funny that
How did he get away with that?
because everyone was like, "What's Jamie Carragher doing in the box?"
Oh, he always. He doesn't always score.
No,
He doesn't.
When does he ever
doesn't
score?
usually get a touch
No.
in the box, the opposing box anyway.
But poor result for Chelsea. They've got a lot of difficult fixtures coming up, and not to mention the trip to Japan. So could easily see them sliding down the table because, especially when they don't have options up front, it has to be Torres full stop. It seems until January. Because Sturridge isn't getting they've no confidence in him.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing too well. He hasn't won. Gerrard, we were discussing him earlier for England. He was a bit ineffectual in the game. He got a surprising amount of passes and touches and stuff, but he just didn't do much.
Liverpool match or the
Liverpool Chelsea match. We're done with England. Sick of them. Yeah, we said Ebra's goal, did we? Yeah, that's all that matters from that game.
Best goal of all time.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No.
But
for the sake of this week, it is.
I
think England need to tell people, we only lost because it was the best goal ever. And also those other
it was the winner, really.
Yeah. I think the best goal of all time, though, there has to be context to the actual goal and to the match.
Maradona.
Yeah, but for example, if this was 90 minutes of a meaningless friendly, where if that was a World Cup semi-final, would he have taken that shot on?
He probably would have.
Yeah, he's Zlatan.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, the point being that he was probably like, "Here, I'm not bothered taking this down, turn around. I'm just going to kick it over my head."
And over his head.
Yeah, well, he didn't care.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's got to be context. But back to Steven Gerrard passing the ball.
Yeah. What do you think, Gerrard?
Yeah, he was
he past it?
Well, I wouldn't say he's past it. I think he's just a bit more restricted now in the tactics Brendan Rodgers has it. He's usually explosive midfielder that likes to get forward, but I think he's more restrained now that they're playing a passing game, and I think he slots in with
now that he's required to pass the ball.
Yeah.
He's not doing so well.
No, he's more he's slotting in beside Alan maybe a little bit more, and
he doesn't just get to hover around the box,
just
waiting for the breaking ball. Like, I'm going to belt it.
Well, he's used to playing.
Sam Allardyce would love a bit of Steven Gerrard, wouldn't he? Yeah. Just get it up to Carroll, funny enough.
Knock it down to Gerrard. Belt it.
There we go.
Yeah. Fair enough,
they should. You're right there. They should sell him.
Another talking point from the game was John Terry's big girly scream. But unlike him, we're actually going to have a break. Okay, we'll be back in a sec. We're back, and it's time to look ahead to game week 12, starting with the North London Derby. Neither team on top form here. Who wants this?
No, but this is one of those type of games that I just see Arsenal winning, because Arsenal always seem to find a way to get a result in these games against Spurs when you really don't think that you've no reason to have confidence in them. Like that game last year where they were, what was it, 2-0 down against Tottenham?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They came back to trash them. Like, you had no reason to believe that Arsenal were going to do anything like that. I just think they're going to nick maybe a 1-0 at home. But again, you're right there. Neither team are in great form. Tottenham would have rather this match maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, when they were up in fourth.
Yeah, but Dembele as well. The fact that he won't be back that's a blow as well.
What do you think? You think Arsenal?
Yeah, same as Mark. They usually come up against when they're not playing well. They can usually get a big result against a big team. So I think, I can see them nicking it. I don't. There'll be goals though. I think it'll be maybe 2-1 because Spurs obviously have a lot of attacking presence as well.
That's the 12:45 kickoff. At 3:00 we have Man City versus Aston Villa. Poor old Aston Villa. 1 week they've Man United, and then they've City. They could be in the relegation zone by the end if the other teams weren't so bad, but they still could be by the end of this.
Yep, that's the West Ham or West Brom fans say to Southampton fans. You're going down with the Villa.
Down with the Villa. Down with the Villa.
And I can see it happening because if Reading, Southampton or QPR manage to get away out, who's going to go down? Villa. So, but like there seems to be just a lack of ambition at that club. I think maybe Lerner made a decision when he first bought the club. He was prepared to put money into it, and then he realised how much money was needed, and then he was gonna. Well, maybe I'll be happy with just mid-table mediocrity, but you can't really settle in the Premier League.
You can't sell that to your fans.
No,
unless you're Wigan.
Well, Wigan are even having a chance at Europe, maybe.
Yeah, but they won't.
They won't.
Won't invest in
but the fans don't care. You know what I mean? The fans will believe for the time being. But the point of Villa is they seem to have kind of settled and not strengthened the areas they need to strengthen in, and they're just going to be stale from head to toe. Man City will beat them.
We were all just assuming that. Their biggest spark last weekend was possibly Stephen Ireland, and he made comments after the match saying maybe if Trapattoni gave him a phone call, he'd consider talking to him a bit.
No!
What do you think, On? Will we have him back?
Yeah, we may as well just throw him in there. Considering what was on show on Wednesday, I wouldn't mind. I know a lot of people wouldn't be happy with Ireland's.
It's water under the bridge at this stage.
Yeah, it is. It's something stupid now. Like Tevez was accepted back, and he did a lot worse. I think
seems to be less of an arsehole these days.
Yeah,
he's never going to come back though.
No.
Yeah. Liverpool versus Wigan. Liverpool chose Rodgers over Martinez. Chance for him to go. Hey, look, I'm better.
You see, we can have a habit of getting results from a start of the game, so you'd expect Liverpool to win it because they have a stronger squad, strikers or no strikers. But it wouldn't shock you if Wigan got a draw there. Liverpool still, I don't think they've snapped out of the whole not being able to win a home thing yet. They still get quite a few draws there, I think. So Wigan can cause them problems, all right.
And when Suarez scored against Chelsea, did you notice he had to celebrate on his own? Nobody else.
Nobody said. Well, I think it was they wanted to get on with it because they wanted to get on with it because they actually had a good spell of possession. They had chances, so I think they wanted to go on and win the game. But
still another 20-30 minutes left in the game, though.
Yeah, well, maybe he did something stupid in training during the week that pissed off a few.
Do you know something about that?
No. Wait, just know he turned around expecting everybody to be around him.
He ran right into the corner and
turned around. He with a big smile on his face with his hands out, and then there was nobody there, and he just kind of turned back to the crowd.
Yeah, I was watching it, but I never thought about it like that. Right? I thought the funniest bit was when he was running directly for the camera, and at the last minute you can see his eyes going over to the left. So kind of the whole way, like he's going to kiss the camera, he's going to kiss the camera. He's going, he just rejected the cameraman.
Oh, he's such a tease.
Yeah, deep burn.
West Brom at home to Chelsea, and this is a chance for West Brom to produce proof that they can qualify for Champions League or at least Europa League.
This is going to be the exact same as West Brom, Manchester City. West Brom will take the lead, Chelsea will win. They can't play Lukaku in this match, so they won't have Lukaku there to ruin the Man City game. So surely maybe they have a better chance to get result out of this. Yeah. But 2-1 Chelsea, that's how I'm going to go. West Brom a goal up and Chelsea will come back and win.
Do you agree with that?
No, for the first time.
Oh, he's had his own thoughts.
No, I'm going to go
the same person.
I'm going to go for a draw because I think West Brom are looking very confident. Chelsea have been a bit shaky in the last few weeks, so I can see if they play well, I can see them getting a 1-1 draw.
Clark has the inside track on Chelsea, haven't been there.
But he was there a good while now. It was a long time since he's left as well.
Yeah, but
he knows the ins and outs of the club. So yeah, I don't know if that'll play to his advantage, but
you'll be able to say to Di Matteo after the match, "Oh, go eat some flowers." Oh, secret shame. He knows the inside track.
Oh, you're pushing the Simpsons things too far now, Mark.
I like the Simpsons.
I like the Simpsons too, but that just... Mark has left. Oh, he's back. Newcastle Swansea. What do you think? Newcastle won this one on basically by counter attack last year. Just didn't bother with possession at all.
Well, as we were saying earlier, Swansea's tactics have changed. They're attacking as well, but they're not so much possession based. So it could be a high scoring game. Both teams just attack, which I don't see why they shouldn't. Because they have a lot of good players at their disposal. Newcastle do, and I think Pablo's going to be injured for that game, so that's an advantage to Newcastle. He's been playing well this season.
It'll be a big indication of how the rest of the Newcastle season is going to go if they can bounce back from a bad defeat last weekend to get some points.
They haven't had to travel to Bruges, so...
Yeah, but that's,
all those museums just took it out of them.
Yeah. No, it's all those waffles. Got chocolate on them.
Chocolates, oh God. And mayonnaise, they put mayonnaise on everything over there, right?
They put strawberries on the chocolate waffles.
Wow.
They're nice.
Chocolate waffles with strawberries?
Yeah.
That's only an hour and a half away.
From Newcastle.
Same distance to Galway. What's Galway got?
Rain.
A lot of water.
Reading versus Everton. Reading versus Everton. Everton win. Yeah.
When did they hand out the podcast awards?
I don't know. Nobody's contacted me about that yet.
Reading versus Everton.
Reading versus Everton. Everton gonna win.
Yeah, and the important point is I just can't see the end of your foot's really distracting.
That award is in the bag.
Yeah. So professional. So professional. The important point is that I just don't see how is this the game that Reading are going to end the whole winless streak. I don't think so. And only 3 teams have ever gone a Premier League season 10 games without winning. The first 10 games without winning and survived.
But there's 3 going to do it this year. So.
But what I mean is that I'd say it's less and less that have gone 11. So they're just going down. It's kind of annoying that the relegation. The relegation battle seems a bit boring this season because he's kind of already decided. It seems not that it's hard on the clubs involved, but it is always exciting in general. Come April and May time.
And for Everton, Coleman was Ireland's best player last night. Do you expect him to push on even more for his club?
Yeah, he's been playing well for Everton. I can't see why he won't have a good game on the weekend. He'd be playing right back because I think Hibbert's still injured and he's better than Hibbert. So,
but if Gibson comes back and he's close, does Phil Neville go to right back?
I don't know. That's a tough question. Maybe he won't change the winning formula and leave Coleman in there and leave Neville in midfield.
Oh, Gibson's out.
Gibson has to fight for his place because he hasn't been training. He's been injured. So,
does anyone follow Phil Neville on Twitter?
No,
I used.
He put up a tweet yesterday of myself and Darren Gibson showed up for training, and the tweet was like, myself and Gibson got a lot of stick today for this. They both showed up to training wearing the exact same tracksuit, and it wasn't an Everton tracksuit, just a Nike tracksuit, tracksuit top, tracksuit bottoms, both the exact same. Look like idiots.
The new Neville brothers.
Who's gonna go home and change?
QPR versus Southampton. Somebody has to win.
Could be a draw.
It's very likely going to be a 0-0 draw.
1-1 draw.
Okay, I'll give you that. Norwich at home to Man United. Can Houlihan mastermind an upset here?
Caused the Man United big problems last season, and what Norwich in general did. And I think they're going to do the same again. Like they've beaten Arsenal there already. I think they're well capable of the giant killers. So I'm going to go for a similar game that I've predicted with West Brom and Chelsea. I think Norwich will win, or will score early and then lose. It could be a good bet. it always seems to be a good bet with Man United to concede and win.
Yeah. Owen, Norwich, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it'll be tough at home, but yeah, Man United will breeze through it, I think.
Breeze through it.
Breeze through it, yeah, the form they're in.
He's trying to jinx us.
I think Hernandez is going to start. I think he deserves it to start anyway.
Yeah, Ferguson said he's going to start, after the last hat-trick that wasn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see him getting a start, but I don't know if he'll fit Rooney
Yeah,
and
well,
Van Persie in.
I think in the big games you're not going to start
All three.
young Hernandez. He's not going to play big games.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
It's a good chance to rest Rooney or...
He has a very good record, Hernandez, against Chelsea. I think he's got like 8 goals or something like that against them, so that's a big game. So I don't know, as long as he keeps scoring goals, like you have to give the manager a reason to keep you in. So goals is the way to do it.
And then on the Sunday we have Fulham versus Sunderland. 3.2 goals per game at Craven Cottage so far this year. That's a pretty good season ticket to have.
Yeah, but that average is going to go way down after this one. Sunderland,
yeah. But Fulham could score 3 against Sunderland. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, well, Berbatov could score a couple of goals.
Yeah, I can see Berbatov doing to O'Shea what Fellaini did to him last week.
Yeah, well, O'Shea's just not in a good place since he left Man United.
No.
No.
It's Sunderland. It's not a very nice place at all.
Is it a good place to have a season ticket, though?
Yeah, well, you live in London. A nice part of London. It's
you?
not Chelsea.
Yeah. You're surrounded by Chelsea fans, though.
Yeah.
But also...
We've got a statue of Michael Jackson outside.
Yeah, oh,
so it
God.
just keeps getting better.
God. Why do they have
Martin Yole's your manager.
that? Yeah. But they're those kind of clubs that have no real ambition to push on. Now, I know that's not their fault. They have a tiny stadium, tiny fan base, but I don't know. When they got to the Europa League final, I kind of thought maybe they'll try and push on a bit. But
No,
not at all. You know what I mean? Look where Middlesbrough are. Middlesbrough got there too, so I don't know. If I was sitting watching Fulham, I think we just stay in and around the same 5 league positions every season.
big goals at least, you know. There's other teams where Sunderland, for example, who are in the same, finishing the same kind of positions every season, but you know, tortured to watch.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. There seems like I don't know. When you follow a team, you want to kind of sense a grand scheme of things. Like Liverpool fans, it's shit at the moment, but there's a grand scheme of things is that they're trying to get back in Champions League football. They're not just going to settle for drawing all the games at home, risking finishing 6th or 7th or whatever. They want to get back in the Champions League by hook or by crook.
And the crook plays up front.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
They spend on
you want even if you think it's going to be 4 years before your team's back challenging for things, you want to feel like you're going somewhere. I think that's a problem with Arsenal as well. Arsenal kind of feel like fourth. Eventually that
Wenger
fourth
says it's as good as a trophy.
Yeah, but eventually that fourth's going to become 5th, and that's no good to them.
Yeah,
They want to feel like you're going forward, and I think that's what you never get at a club like Fulham. So that's what I'm saying about the season ticket.
Mm-hmm. Still, I doubt it's expensive. Arsenal's the most expensive.
Yeah, they're the most expensive club in Britain.
£1,100, I think it is, for a season.
Well, there you go.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And point being that their corporate boxes are going for renewal soon, and who's going to renew a box there for that kind of money?
Good point. Now, teams who I definitely wouldn't want to buy a season ticket.
Are you in America?
Yeah, I am.
Bus
Wait,
pass.
no, that's Canada. Now, 2 teams I wouldn't want to get a season ticket for: West Ham versus Stoke. And my notes for this match say, for the
Actually,
love
both of
of
those teams.
God, West Ham can play a bit.
No, well, my big harsh was West Ham fans, decent atmosphere. I would have thought. Good crack going to those games.
Till Millwall turn up and then everyone
Yeah.
dies.
Let's rip up the chairs and throw them.
Yeah.
And Stoke too. Stoke have a decent atmosphere probably. So of course.
When Arsenal is there and they have Arsenal
Yeah.
players to
Kick
slag.
them, kick them. No, that won't be a great game, of course. But maybe Andy Carroll will actually score. Maybe not.
No. Well,
But he's not going to win. He's not going to be as successful in the air. I wouldn't have thought.
Exactly.
So
He'll have to use all his nous and his.
sitting in the library earlier on, and I pondered, will Andy Carroll ever score a senior goal again? I don't think he will.
He will. When he gets back to Newcastle.
When he gets back to Newcastle, maybe next year, yeah. But
When he completes the journey.
Yeah,
We've
discussed how his transfer price is going to fall to 17 million, and then to
If we can get him on a free transfer.
no, it's going to be 8 million you're going to get him for, and the club after that's going to be 4, and the club after that's going to be 2, and 1.
Is that ever,
500,000.
who can I think of where that's happened?
Robbie Keane, 20 million, 11 million. 6 months later.
No, he's
free,
20
free
million,
to the
then
LA
14.
Galaxy.
Free to the LA Galaxy. But then did his price go? Did the LA Galaxy charge Villa for loaning him?
I don't think so. I think American clubs like doing that because it ups the profile of their league.
I know the Red Bulls got a fee for Henry anyway.
For Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Everton usually pay for Donovan as well.
Yeah. Donovan should be playing in the Premier League. I don't know what's he doing there.
It's a bit too late now. He's 30 now, but he should have been playing. He was playing in Europe before, and
remember there was a young lad in the American League called Freddie Adu.
Yeah.
Yep.
What happened to him?
He's back in the MLS.
He went to Benfica.
Benfica. Yeah, he went to Benfica for a couple of years after he had a trial with Real Madrid, and it was just like he's not good enough. So because he started out in Washington DC or something, DC United. And he made his debut when he was 14, and they just overhyped him. Yeah. So he's 22 now or something.
Really?
He's back in the MLS.
I kind of expected him to be a bit like 30 and washed up and stuff.
Well, he's 22 and washed up.
Yeah, but he's 22.
But I don't even think he gets in the US squad anymore.
No, he's not.
There's plenty of time to turn that around. He's Francis Jeffers.
He is Francis Jeffers.
But I just remember him being dynamite in like Championship Manager.
Yeah, it never worked out for him.
No, that's disappointing. I kind of wanted him to succeed on some kind of small level.
Not
happening. Well, at least you can say I had a trial at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And also kind of play for Benfica.
Snodgrass, from Norwich.
Yeah.
Trial at Barcelona.
There you go.
Yeah,
Didn't go because of homesickness. That's
yeah,
his story.
That's his.
wouldn't have worked out anyway. You know, Beckham won a competition, probably Charlton competition, to train at La Masia when he was a kid, and stayed in the same houses that Messi and all would have stayed in. Of course, then he went to play for Real Madrid in the end, but so I didn't have a big impression on him.
Well, just because you've played at Barcelona's training ground doesn't ban you from ever playing for Madrid.
No, it doesn't ban you, but you would have thought that maybe he would have wanted to go here. Wouldn't mind playing there if I leave Man United. Because I'd say Barcelona were the last minute they came in, but
I think they were more talking about it, wasn't it?
yeah,
More just kind of.
He did the other way around. He had trials with the 2 Madrid clubs because he's from Madrid and went to Barcelona.
Is this?
I didn't know he was
Carlos
from Madrid.
Puyol.
Oh,
Because he just seems to
He was
be
17.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
he was 17 when he signed for Barcelona.
I don't know if he went directly from Real, but he did.
No, it wasn't from Real. Where was it from?
Could have
He
been.
didn't play a professional game till he was 14, or a full 11 aside till he was 14.
Actually getting squeezed here.
No, it's a fact off. But we're done, so that was that. Just like David Ford's record without conceding a goal, we are done. Wish I'd said that before I said we're done, just there when I said we're done.
He did concede a goal.
He did on Wednesday. We're done. He hadn't before for Ireland.
Yeah, but then
That's
not a big achievement, though, is it?
It was 3 games.
2 games. That was his third cap, wasn't it? Fourth cap.
Okay. I'm John O'Donnell, and that's Mark Corcoran, and that's.
They can't see
Oh,
you
Grace.
pointing, John.
I'm
They
pointing. I
can't
want
see
to
you
point.
pointing. Put some socks on. I say.
No, I've gone all Joss Stone. Woo!
She's gone a bit Freddie Adu too, though, isn't she?
Yeah, her career kind of stalled, and she went a bit mad.
She's a bit of a Francis Jeffers.
She was at the Liverpool were playing Exeter last season, and she's a guest of honour. She's an Exeter season ticket holder.
Yep, and she's top.
She's at
How the mighty have fallen.
Anyway, who, Exeter or Joss Stone?
Both. We're Exeter ever mighty.
They are now League One.
Oh,
from non-league.
we'll be back next
James Beattie signed for Accrington Stanley.
as a coach. Player coach.
Player coach.
Yeah.
Who saw that one coming? Who really cares?
Accrington Stanley.
Who are they?
All right, I'm just stopping now.